these are different pistons right here. We're going to use this one on the right. And maybe one day I'll find a way to get one of these old stroker cylinders, and I'll cut it right down the half so I can do an interior diagram. But remember, this is a stock crank. It's 44 millimeters across from here to here. Alright, a stroker is 50 millimeters from here to here on the weights. The stroker that I have in right now is the largest one I've been able to find, which is not 50 millimeters, but it's 52.5 millimeters. Now why does that matter? Because this is why it matters. If you have a piston right here, and I'm going to put it on here and try and show you with one hand how this works. Just pretend the piston is on here and the crank goes down to its bottom dead center, which would be right there. Okay? You can see where on this piston that the crankshaft would pull it farther down and would actually hit on the crank weight right here. Okay? Now we'll get into phase 2 of putting on a stroker. It's in backwards, remember. Now we're going to go bottom dead center with it, which is right here. And I put the cylinder on here, the piston, I'm sorry. But you can see right down in the crank, or in the crankcase where it's been smoothed to make it work. And you can see on the other side it's the same way. What I want you to look at is the distance between the crank weight, where it says flange right there, and the edges of the piston. Now when you get one of these cranks and you get a piston, the piston has got to be modified. The reason is the piston is too tall. It's too tall right here. It's too tall right here. I have videos on that in my playlist on my other stroker, so you can see how that's done. If you want to look it up real quick, I'm going to go over it again. But the main thing is you have to have clearance against this weight right here. That's the first thing. The second thing is that on your cylinder, okay, now we'll go back over here. Your cylinder has to push down this piston rod right here, okay, all the way to bottom dead center, and it has to go all the way back up again. So you're faced with a small problem. The problem is this: you have to have enough meat on this piston skirt right here on this side. Oh, this is the exhaust side, sorry, right here, where the piston will go up and down in the cylinder properly, but still have enough meat to cover your exhaust port on the other side on its downward, on its downward stroke and all the way up to top dead center. But you still have to take off a small amount of the piston skirt and make the piston shorter in order for it not to hit this. That's why it's very important when you order either a 50 millimeter crank, you can get them from VTCYCLES where I get mine, or the 52 from VTCYCLES where I get mine. you want to order always 2 sets of bearings. You want to have one set of bearings that you're going to turn into dummy bearings. You can see that these bearings right here have the original beautiful grease in them. They're brand new, except I took a Dremel and took off 1/1000ths on the outside and 1/1000ths on the inside so that these aren't press fit. They just fall in. The beauty of it is that they will guide the crank exactly where I want it to go, and I can keep taking this out and putting it in and taking it out and putting it in before I do the final assembly, where I'm only going to do it once. Now, one more thing is that I'm taking pictures of all this I'm taking them with this little flower deal right here, which means they're very high close-ups, and they're done with like 12 to 1600, very high definition. Now I have maybe 200 and something pictures of all the phases of this project right here, and I don't know how to put them on a video. I don't know how to edit shit because I'm old. I still got all my hair. I'm old. I don't give a damn, and I need my daughter to get off her dead 14-year-old ass and be some good tech support. After all, what are kids for? Rock on.